Would you rate Resident Evil Afterlife?
I would rate it a 7. It's a good movie, but not as great as the other three.
You know what? I gotta agree with you. Even though I never actually got the chance to watch it, I gotta say that this film does feel a little bit gimmicky because even the trailer felt a little bit gimmicky. Because you watch the trailer, it's like shot in the same cameras as Avatar. Didn't you think that was kind of like going a little bit too far there? Trying to.
Well, it was the Resident Evil Afterlife was the first Resident Evil that they shot in 3D.
Yeah.
They didn't shoot any of the other ones in 3D, and I think the big drawing with Afterlife was the fact that they shot it in 3D with the same camera that James Cameron used.
Yeah.
And regardless of the film, I'm sure that probably would bring out a lot of people.
But don't you think that people kind of hype up Avatar a little bit too much? They're always trying to say, like shot on the same footage as Avatar. Avatar is not the first 3D movie. There's been 3D movies,
but Avatar, out of the 3D movies that I have seen, Avatar was the most amazing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It is one of the best 3D movies. It's also the highest grossing movie of all time. So of course you're going to use that, right? But I just don't like it when they kind of do that with 3D movies. They kind of compare each other. I kind of hope it just has its own thing. You know what I mean? I don't like it when they compare a totally different movie to another movie just because of the technology.
Just a quick thought. This is my thoughts on Resident Evil Degeneration. Now, this is the anime movie.
Yeah.
And, this is more in terms of actually being probably what video games, can concede as, as a very good adaptation and of Resident Evil, because the fact that it does have Leon and Claire, and it's basically used the same animation that are in the video games. And in all essence, this game takes place after where is it here? After Resident Evil 2.
Okay.
And it takes place at an airport where an infected basically, gets out and everything like that. Yeah. And I have to say, it is a good film. It is a good film if you're a fan of the video games. Now, for you, Danny, for a person that hasn't played the video games,
I
hate to say it, but I think you may be a little clueless. Because this is more to please the video game fans. It's more of a movie for fans of the video game. So you have to go into this film knowing what happened in Resident Evil 2 and actually knowing what happened in Resident Evil 4 as well. You gotta know those two things, because the fact that they talk about it here and there in Resident Evil Degeneration. And there's actually another sequel to this film that is coming out.
Okay.
I don't know exactly when the sequel's coming out, but I believe it's coming out rather soon. Okay. So I will most likely pick that up when it comes out. As a person that liked the video games and actually saw this, my only complaint is the fact that I felt like I wanted to play this more than watch it. Yeah.
But you know what? I gotta say, for the trailer for the last, Resident Evil movie that's coming out right now, that's coming out in a week from now, right?
Yeah, Retribution.
Yeah, of course. Well, I gotta say the trailer looks a lot less gimmicky than Afterlife, because
I'll agree with that. Afterlife basically really, drawed you in with the fact that it was shot, using James Cameron's.
That's, but me personally, it kind of made me not want to go to the movie, because they were kind of stepping outside the movie, throwing the 3D glasses in the air kind of thing. Woo! Avatar technology. to draw me in to go to the movie, I want like a reason. I want to see like a clip of the movie. I don't want to be too gimmicked out.
They did show clips of the film.
Yeah.
They showed certain scenes.
Yeah.
In the film.
Yeah.
But I can kind of see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'm just talking about that.
Personally, I actually think that, the new Resident Evil Retribution that's coming out, I'm actually really looking forward to it for the fact that they pretty much have got just about everybody back in this film. And even characters that are actually dead are back as clones. And basically Umbrella's basically using them to try to get the revenge on Alice for what she did. I mean, I'm all for it that because some people may be like, that's a little far fetched even for Resident Evil. Well, dude, the video game series is a little far fetched now, and so you kind of have to go with it. I mean, the video game series is good, but you cannot not say that the video game series have got a little far fetched.
Well, I gotta say the trailer for the new Resident Evil movie looks way better than the trailer for Afterlife because of the fact it's less gimmicky. They're not gonna like concentrating on that 3D technology kind of thing. Like you can watch the trailer and still enjoy it even with it not being in 3D.
Dude, did you see the first trailer for Resident Evil Retribution? It started off like a Sony commercial. I mean, they're like advertising their product. They're like, "This is my world," and then all of a sudden it just switches over from being a typical Sony commercial into being a big old apocalypse, and you just see Alice, and she's like, "This is my world." And you just, what?
Yeah, and then I'm like, "You have implanted memories."
What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
I feel like all the different locations
and it really draws you in because all of a sudden it's like a Sony commercial, and then they're like these aren't real memories, they're implanted. It's like, and you're like,
well, that was the other trailer. The Sony commercial trailer just showed Alice, and she basically said, "This is my world," and then they showed multiple locations of certain areas that are in the film, and then basically some chase scenes here and there, and then Resident Evil Retribution.